And they definitely ended the performance with a bang too. Like, did you guys see Minhyuk? Wow. All I have to say is wow.
I'm saying I don't wanna come down from your love. We'll get lost together like we fly. Don't ever let me come down from your love. From your love. From your baby.
Hey guys, it's Bree here. If you're new here, welcome to my channel, and welcome back if you're a returning subscriber. Today I'm back with another Mnet Kingdom video. I'll recap the performances in episode 5, review the current judge and peer evaluation results, go over my predictions for the final voting results, and rank the performances according to who I think did the best. But before we get into this video, here's a quick disclaimer. I'm just a K-pop multi-stan who loves Kingdom, so please don't take it to heart if I rank your favorite group lower than how you think they should be ranked. All of the groups participating in Kingdom are super talented, and this video is just for fun. Now that that's out of the way, let's get right into the video. So in episode 5, we are continuing the Reborn mission, in which groups are assigned songs from other groups and have to rearrange them for the performance.
이건 그냥 노래니까 리듬 타.
So ATEEZ was first up to perform. They rearranged iKON's Rhythm Ta and named it Rhythm Ta: The Awakening of Summer. So as far as the composition of the song, I thought that it was brilliant. They actually sampled Summer from Vivaldi's Four Seasons, and you could hear the melody of it throughout the performance. I haven't seen the full episode with subtitles yet, but I'm guessing that this was probably Hongjoong or Eden's idea. I thought the use of Vivaldi's Summer tied in perfectly with their title of the rearrangement, The Awakening of Summer. And I also thought it went well with the entire concept. So if you don't know, crime rates and civil unrest tend to statistically occur more during the summertime. And in ATEEZ's performance, you can see that they're leading a rebellion and revolting against the government or the powers that be. So besides the sampling of Vivaldi, I loved that the song arrangement sounded very ATEEZ, if that makes sense. Throughout the song, you have very apparent elements of hip-hop, which is very much ATEEZ, but then when you get into the chorus, the song breaks down into EDM, and we also get some Spanish and even rock-inspired elements tied in there as well. And of course, with any ATEEZ performance, the choreography was incredible. You can always count on ATEEZ to come through with their crazy energy and deliver a powerful performance. Some of the highlights for me were Songhwa's entrance, San climbing the rope and pressing the button to trigger the door, Hongjoong's money heist-inspired speech, and all of the dance breaks. I also really enjoyed all of the details on stage that really showed the audience what was going on. Elements like the anarchy symbols and the newspaper headlines pointed to the fact that a rebellion was going on and ATEEZ was leading it. There were also Easter eggs for H&E's to find, like references to Hala Hala and the hourglass that Hongjoong picks up towards the end of the performance, which is a direct connection to ATEEZ's performance from the last round. So ATEEZ just continues to prove that they are a force to be reckoned with, and I was blown away by their rendition of Rhythm Ta.
Back to
So next was BTOB, and BTOB performed Stray Kids' Backdoor. I was really curious to see how they would execute it, given that BTOB tends to focus more on vocals, and Stray Kids seems to do a lot more with the performance side of things. So in the performance, BTOB is playing the part of a band who is backstage, getting ready to perform. I thought it was pretty clever how BTOB incorporated the knocking and opening the door sound effects from the original Backdoor from Stray Kids. As always with BTOB, their vocals were absolutely pristine. Like, as far as vocals, no one is coming for BTOB in this competition. BTOB also really made the song their own, and I did like that. They even incorporated some of Stray Kids' Backdoor choreo towards the end of the performance, which was awesome. And they definitely ended the performance with a bang too. Like, did you guys see Minhyuk? Wow. All I have to say is wow. My only complaint about the performance was BTOB's use of time. The members spent a lot of time backstage in their dressing rooms, etc. And I wish they would have came onto the main stage and done some more choreography a little earlier on in the performance. I think if they would have done that, I personally would have found the performance a little bit more engaging. So Stray Kids were last to perform, and they performed their own version of Kido, or I'll Be Your Man. Kido is Korean for the word prayer, and that seemed to be the concept of their performance. In the performance, it looked like Stray Kids was mourning the loss of a loved one and trying to bring them back from the dead, even if it meant sacrificing themselves and making a pact with an evil force, or in this case, Felix. I thought that the stage looked amazing and the choreo flowed perfectly, moving the storyline along. One of the things that totally surprised me about this performance was Han's vocals. Like, oh my gosh. I'm not super familiar with Stray Kids, but I do know that Han is a part of 3RACHA and one of the rappers, so I was extremely impressed by his live vocals and how amazing he sounded. Like, his tone was so satisfying to listen to, and he just nailed his vocals. I had no idea, so Stays, I've been sleeping on Han. I did not know he could sing like that. Han definitely seems like a very well-rounded performer. I thought that overall Stray Kids did a great job vocally. Seungmin as well sounded amazing, and great vocals were a must since Stray Kids were covering a B2B song. Some of the highlights for the performance for me was in the beginning when Changbin was rapping and we could continuously see flashes of the little boy who presumably passed away, the blood sacrifice scene with Han and Felix, the dance break, and the amazing vocals towards the end, and the end where the little boy embraces Bangchan. I definitely felt that the performance was super moving and powerful. I did notice that IN's voice cracked a little at the end, and after seeing clips from the episode, I saw that he was really taking it hard and was very upset. But with live vocals, things like this happen, and I hope IN and Stays know that and don't take it too hard. So now let's get on to the expert and peer evaluations. So if you look at this table, the expert voting results are on the left, the peer evaluation results are in the middle, and the totals are on the right. So as you can see, ATEEZ won first place in expert evaluation for the Reborn mission, and tied with iKON for second place in peer evaluation. To be honest, I felt that ATEEZ deserved to get a high ranking. I felt that the performance this round was extremely powerful with a great storyline that you could follow, and I also really liked the rearrangement of Rhythm Ta. So for the rest of the rankings, we have SF9 in second, BTOB in third, iKON in fourth, Stray Kids in fifth, and The Boyz in sixth. I'm not gonna lie, I was completely shocked that Stray Kids and The Boyz ranked so low, coming in fifth and sixth place. I thought that The Boyz especially had an amazing performance last week, and I was shocked that none of the other groups voted for them. As you can see, The Boyz got a score of 0 in peer evaluation. I also noticed that Stray Kids ranked last in expert evaluations, and I couldn't help but to wonder why. Was it because of IN's technical voice issue towards the end, or something else? If you look at the total points, there's a huge gap between 5th and 6th place and the rest of the rankings. Like I mentioned before, I was pretty shocked since Stray Kids and The Boyz have tended to be some of the top competitors in this competition so far. But then again, I understand that someone has to come in last place. I think it would be really cool though if we got to see some insight on why the experts voted the way that they did. To be honest though, I was really happy for SF9 being able to secure second place. I think they're really making a strong comeback, seeing as though they have ranked much lower in previous rounds. So now for my predictions about the streaming and global fan voting. Even though The Boyz and Stray Kids came in last for judge and peer evaluation votes, I think that they could possibly turn the tides for the total scores, especially Stray Kids, who has a huge dedicated fan base. I have a feeling that Stray Kids will get first place in streaming and global voting. I think the fact that ATEEZ's fan base seems to be much smaller could possibly cause them to not keep their spot at first place. But as an ATEEZ, I'll hope for the best and say may the best performance win. So voting is now open, and if you haven't voted before, you can vote by downloading the Who's Fan app. The Who's Fan app uses a 3 voting system, which means you have to vote for 3 groups. If you've made it this far, comment who you're voting for this week. Now let's get into my personal ranking of the performances from the Reborn mission.
Back to us.
시작하자 익숙한 것과 엉켜진 순간보다
Look it up, look it up. Hey, 너 꼭 깨라. 이건 그냥 노래니까 리듬 타.
To be honest, it was super hard for me to rank this mission's performances because every group did amazing. However, ATEEZ, The Boyz, and iKON made the biggest impression on me for this round. To me, their storytelling and rearrangements of the songs they chose were amazing, and they kept me engaged from start to finish. What are your rankings for the Reborn mission, and who are you voting for? Comment below. Anyway, that's it guys. I don't know about you, but I'm super excited for next week's episode. It looks like all of the boys will be taking a break and playing games, so it should be really fun to watch. If you haven't already, make sure to give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, subscribe for more Kingdom content, and comment your rankings for this mission and who you're voting for this week. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!
me like you like me.